Hey everyone, it's Zachary back for a quick post about just an update on last week when I was talking about scheduling. And here's my whiteboard, and I've added some more things to it. But just before I even get into that, this is a very late post in the week. I know it's Friday, but just to kind of give a recap of what I wrote down last week and what I was able to accomplish. And I'll just start with what I added to the list and just what I came up with, So I put make 4 more trips to the gym, play guitar at least twice, finish reading that book I had mentioned last week, be in bed by 9:30 last week on the 3rd and the 4th, and start learning Korean through either an app or by watching K-dramas, but we can get into that at a different time. But just to kind of give, I didn't make it for any of these. So take my red marker and X all of those out. So when it comes to structure, I would just say time management needs to be involved, because when I don't manage my time, things are kind of just, it's not clear cut when you finish one task and when you move on to the next thing. And if you're at work and you say, okay, I want to get all these things done, and you're trying to do this balancing act, but you don't actually set a definite cutoff time for when you're going to stop working on something and then move on to the next thing, then the first thing can easily bleed over by 30 minutes or whatever, and then things just get messed up. So when you look at your social life too, and you kind of do the same thing, let's say with a Saturday, you say, I'm going to wake up at 9:30 and I'm going to go do this and that, but then you end up waking up at 12:30 and you didn't go to bed early the night before, and da 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 da. So here's what I'm just going to do for this week. You may say you're setting goals for the week at the end of the week. Well, I'm just going to set one. First thing, I'm just going to take all this off the list, So yeah, I've left it on the board too long. Okay, didn't have to be perfect. But I'm just gonna set one goal to finish between today and tomorrow. And before I write this out, I would like to not waste my potential. Just speaking in general. At this point in my life, I'm almost 30, and the rubber needs to meet the road when it comes to career and what I want to do. But the thought I've had is I want to be an expert in something. It doesn't necessarily have to be career or only career, but there's something that would be cool to me. But also, you work towards something, you put in that supposed 10,000 hours to master something, and you become an expert with it. I don't want to waste my potential, and I would like to be an expert in something, or at least, really skilled in it. So this thing, what I'm going to write is related to both the book I was reading called Produced by Faith by Devon Franklin, and also I actually had a chance to speak with someone who's in the film industry. He's a film editor, and I had a good 20-something minute talk with him this past Sunday. And he told me about his journey over the past 15 plus years or so. And what I would say is finding out whatever your career is, whatever you want to do, find out what your big idea is. And let's write this on the board. Just one task. Big idea. Nice question mark. Okay. What is your big idea? What I mean by that is, or you could rephrase it this way. what do you want to do with your life? We've all got to do something to earn a living. Even the Apostle Paul, he was a tent maker by trade. So even with all that he went through with his intense missionary work, he had a trade. He made tents. So, everyone needs to do something. And then personally, I don't believe God designed the human being to be idle, to have nothing to do. I mean, have you ever met someone who was retired and let's say they'd worked hard for the past 30 to 40 years or whatever, and then once they finally have that retirement, free time, every day is Saturday, they eventually get bored. And you may think, why is that? Well, personally, I don't think humans are meant to have nothing to do. Now, some people may live this lifestyle to a fault, but at the same time, I can see that happening to me. Let's say you're on summer break. You're so glad to be done with the semester. You're done with school. And I'm glad I'm on the other side of that, being graduated. But when you get on that school break, okay, the first week's over. You can sleep past, whatever time in the morning. You're sleeping in. And you finally catch up on your sleep. And you every day just kind of, if you don't fill your calendar, fill it with something, to do, whether it's something that's, really meaningful or just like spending time with friends, which is meaningful too. But if you don't put something in there and it's just kind of like the day to day, it can get boring, or at least in my opinion, I think it can. So everyone needs to have something to do. Everyone's going to have a career of some sort, So my question is, what is yours? What are you working toward? Or are you working toward anything right now? And if you're not, ask yourself, why not? Because if not now, then when? Time doesn't wait for anyone, and it's not slowing down for me or for you. So it's better to figure this out sooner rather than later. So, about the big idea, how I can take care of this or, work on this between tomorrow and today is just sitting down with a pencil and paper, a notepad, and just writing down either what I want, just roughly what it, for me it would be in film. Okay, let's say becoming a writer and a director and a producer. Okay, so how do I engage that? Just simple tasks, simple plan. How do I engage becoming a filmmaker? And then just backtracking all those, the very beginning, getting that exposure, doing indie films with people, being a PA, doing what's necessary to actually get the ball rolling, getting my mind in that realm of what to do. Because there's nothing wrong with having ideas in your head of how you want your life to play out. But if you don't actually put the effort into starting, then that's exactly where it's going to stay. You have that idea for that book and it's been, just kind of spinning around in your head for the past 6 or 7 years. It's going to stay there for the next 30 if you don't put pen to paper. And then beyond that, actually pushing it through, through countless revisions or whatever, you had to do. So this is my task for tomorrow. And it's okay just to have one thing on your list. I had all those things that were outlined on here, and there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with having hobbies either. But if you have 12 hobbies, I don't see yourself mastering any of them. Again, it's not wrong to put them on the list, but what I would say for just be realistic, I didn't go to the gym Monday through Friday of this week, but I was able to get in there today, and just sometimes you just can't win them all, So don't hang your head about it. Just for the next week, for every day that God gives you, try to plan for, okay, I'm going to not waste this day. I'm not going to sit with my hands in my pockets and just, if you really think about it, if you have all these different things you want to accomplish, then do we really have any reason to be bored? Or I'll put it this way, anyone can get bored. Do we have a reason to stay bored? You just kind of, time just rolls on by and it's like, I don't have any motivation. Okay, well, try something new. Try something that scares you. Try something that gets you out of your comfort zone. But make a vision board of what you want, a list of things that you truly want. And then you can have like top tier things, and then you have the secondary things I wouldn't mind doing, back to the instrument thing. I have my guitar in my office, where I could have played it after work or tried to practice it after work, but I didn't do that this week. I've done that before, in the past, but I didn't get to it today. But if I had to, that's not like the top of my list of things I want to learn. And with that, you have to, you can get turned off by it at first. Okay, this is taking forever or anything. But once you actually start to see that progress, you've been going to the gym and you can start to see the muscles forming, or you've been trying to practice those different chords on the guitar and they're finally starting to make sense, and you get that finger, muscle memory, that'll be your motivation to keep on moving, until you can actually play that whole song. It'd be nice to learn how to play Good Riddance by Green Day, just something that's not, something that doesn't sound, too complex. But anyway, this is my checklist for the week. I've made it nice and simple enough. Let's see if I can accomplish this between now and Monday, or before the end of the day tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed weekend. Spend it wisely. Hopefully I'll do the same.